Man, where the hell did my flash drive go? I had a bunch of PDFs for character sheets on that thing.
It's on your desk somewhere, but that thing is an absolute mess. Resin and plastic absolutely everywhere.
I really do need to actually clean up. I swear I'm getting to a point where I'm like Asmongold. I mean, I'm not that bad, but I really need to get better.
I don't understand how you can just leave things out like that. You've got cameras, microphones, lights, paints, glues, and magnets. So many magnets.
Look, I like knights. Knights need magnets. In fact, I need to make my Knight Defender. Though, really, I only need to make 3 parts, 2 guns, and the Void Shield generator. But I'll probably make this whole Knight model because it has some pieces I kind of like.
I do like the machines. I remember learning a bit about how some Chaos Knights worked way back when. Throne, how long ago was that? 238 years, I think?
Huh. That's a weirdly specific number. Kind of impressive, since normally your kind start rounding numbers after a century, though given you're an Iron Warrior, it makes sense that you're hyper-specific as to the exact number.
Are you calling me autistic?
Yes, I am, very much so, but I'm a Warhammer and TTRPG nerd. I'm definitely on the spectrum too, but given how they reclassified autism, the spectrum is way wider than it should actually be. Everything from being a bit weird to Asperger's, which in my opinion isn't a kind of autism, but is a brain condition.
You're definitely autistic, given how you're ranting again. Just get on with the video. What's your subject?
Actually, a subject very close to you, the Iron Warriors and the entire Legion.
Oh, I was expecting you to talk about Black Shields.
I think I already did a video about Black Shields. Maybe? Could have just been brought up in one of my many videos about the Death Watch I've made. I'll probably be making more videos about them, but we'll see in the future. I've only planned 3 videos total a year. Everything else I make, I do on a whim, which is funny given my fairly strict video schedule. Either way, let's talk about the 4th Legion. The Iron Warriors were originally named the Corpse Grinders? Hold on. Is that their actual name? Let's see. 2nd edition Codex. I'll take that as law. The Legion was made out of gun-obsessed techno-barbarian tribes, which, weirdly enough, if you look at the description of the tribes and look at the Unification War map, these dudes might have actually been Texas Reds with the big iron on their hips, which, weirdly enough, makes the accent I gave you pretty on point. Hilariously fitting. But either way, the Corpse Grinders were built and designed in the early stages of the Unification War and proved themselves fantastic, as the gene seed they used made them very adaptable, and that adaptability made them capable of being more likely to use cybernetics. So, because of this, the Corpse Grinders were a favorite of the Emperor, because he could essentially send them out to do any job without a babysitter. And that's essentially what he did. Apparently these guys were very good and almost soloed conquering the entire solar system, which I do not like that so many settings call it the Sol system. The star we orbit is called Solar, not Sol. Sol is a deity, Solar is the star. Get it right. This Legion seemed to do very well at doing its job before they got their Primarch back. They did still have a rivalry with the Imperial 5th Legion, which don't have any official previous name because Rogel Dorn is boring, but they were more of a, hey, let's prove ourselves better, and if we can't, let's improve ourselves sort of rivalry that you'd see in like Pokemon games. Not their venom for each other they have now. So, what happened when Purdy came back and saw his sons? Well, he looked at their victories, defeats, strengths, and weaknesses. He saw that they were not the most perfect at everything. He got mad, and he beat 10% of them up. Literally would have had them draw sticks out of a hat, and if they got the short stick, they'd get the tar beat out of them by their own brothers. What did this accomplish? According to the records I can find, jack all! His legion literally acted like him in a militaristic manner out of instinct. Perturabo is one of the few Primarchs that wasn't in charge of his world when the Big E found him. He was the general of another guy who ran a country. Hell, when Perturabo was put in charge of the entire planet, he proceeded to make the Tyrant of Locos, the guy who was in charge of Purdy, in charge of the entire world. So Purdy was never in charge of anything other than a military force as a general, which is what the word Primarch means. Fun fact there. I prefer the word Imperator myself, but I also really like Latin and Roman titles. What can I say but submit to Rome? Under Perturabo's rule, the Corpse Grinders became the Iron Warriors, which is still a Metal Sin name that I'd want my band to be called, but he removed their tactical capabilities and set them up to utilize his own Primarch power, which number 4 doesn't like using. He started using them to break the weak points of any device and defense he came across. The Iron Warriors went from one of the best, fastest to turn out, efficient military forces in near space to siege makers who can sometimes break a wall, but 9 times out of 10, they just wait out their victims. Of course, there's a bit of an interesting interpretation of them that I got from the Warhammer TV single episode, Iron Within. Iron Warriors are strictly obedient to their honor. If they have a debt, they'll make sure it's paid off, even if it's literally 100% of those involved with the debt being made are long gone and dead. In Iron Within, an Imperial world is being sieged by Drukhari. This world is very loyal to the Imperium, but the Iron Warriors had a debt to them. The world's government sent out a call for help, hoping that something like the Ultramarines would come. Instead, Iron Warriors came. They dropped onto the world and protected it, and they counted how much of the population survived. When finished, they went up to the current government and said to them, "Yeah, we owed you a minor debt. By our calculations, we've overpaid you. Now we'll collect. We need thralls. Your surviving population will pay off the debt." And the governor said no, was killed by his lackey, and she proceeded to say yes. So the Iron Warriors do have a strict code of honor. Pay your debts to or from others. The debts will be paid off. Now, I need to get back to working on the new Alban field guide, so shove off.